Hello everyone and welcome to the Literacy Center language tutorial. This is Meghna and today we are going to talk about clauses in a sentence and this is part 2. So let's dive in. In our previous tutorial, we learned that a clause is nothing but a group of words consisting of a subject, often just a single noun, and a predicate, sometimes just a single verb. A clause is composed of a minimum of a subject and a predicate, right? A subject of a clause is an entity such as a person, a place, an object, or an abstract concept which acts, is described, or is acted upon. The subject usually answers the question who, what is the sentence about? And we also talked about how to recognize the clauses. And we came to know that clauses come in 4 types. Main clause, or we also call it independent clause. Subordinate clause, we also call it dependent clause. Adjective clause, or also known as relative clause. And last one is noun clause. Every clause has at least one subject and one verb, and other characteristics will help you distinguish one type of clause from another. So in today's tutorial, we will be talking about adjective clause. So what is an adjective clause or relative clause? An adjective clause is a multi-word adjective that includes a subject and a verb. When we think of an adjective, we usually think about a single word used before a noun to modify its meaning. For example, tall building, smelly cat, argumentative assistant. However, an adjective can also come in the form of an adjective clause. An adjective clause usually comes after the noun, it modifies, and is made up of several words which, like all clauses, will include a subject and a verb. An adjective clause will always have few important elements, and these elements will help you recognize an adjective clause. So let's explore more about this. An adjective clause will have 3 important elements. Number 1, it will start with a relative pronoun, for example, who, whom, whose, that, or which. Or it will start with a relative adverb, for example, when, where, or why. This links it to the noun it is modifying. Element number 2, it will have a subject and a verb. As we all know, these are what makes it a clause, right? And element number 3, it will tell us something about the noun. This is why it is kind of an adjective. So can we see some examples to understand this more? Let's see this one. This sentence here, the dog that performs the most tricks will win the prize. In this example, subject of this adjective clause is that, and the clause modifies the word dog. The verb here is performs because that is what the subject that is doing. Well, let's try one more example. Look at this sentence here. The man who owns Curious George wears a yellow hat. In this example, who is a pronoun and the subject of the adjective clause. The clause describes man, which is the subject of the main clause. And what is the main clause? The man wears a yellow hat. Owns is a verb because it is the action that who is doing. So looking at these examples, we can see how do we recognize an adjective clause and what are the main elements of this. So if you have any questions or if you need any help with this topic, with the subject or the tutorial, you can text us or you can email us and we will get back to you. Thank you.